Hi, welcome to Friday Night Chats with Garage Geek. You could probably tell I'm not in my garage. I'm actually in my attic, which is like my house's second floor. And I've got an AC running, so I'm trying to speak a little bit loudly. So if that's why I sound like over volumized, if that's a word, that doesn't that go with your hair, volume for your hair, whatever. It's because of that. I'm just trying to talk over the AC, but it's an attic and it's hot. So let's move on. So before I get to what I did this week, there's a couple of videos that I took part in. Number one, Sleepy informed me of the hashtag Show Us Your DAWs, and I showed off my DAWs, and I actually did 2 videos. And that was a lot of fun, and I'm actually watching a lot of videos of different people. And wait, let me. Here's a picture of my shelf. If you haven't seen those videos, and I've been watching and actually talking with a lot of people who have been showing off their DAWs in their videos. It's been a lot of fun, so I really want to thank Sleepy Reader for that. And then Big Nasty did a show. It was his first show, and it's called Geeking Out with ... And so his first episode was Geeking Out with Garage Geek, and I was so honored and happy to be the first guest on his new series. And he also sent me some stuff. So he sent me this t-shirt, which I showed off. The main image is on the back. Let me see if I can show that. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I tried. I have to be careful because I'm in my underwear, so I don't want this camera to go down too low. I'm actually getting ready for bed, and then he sent me some stickers. Sorry, there's something in front of it. He sent me some stickers, one of which I'm gonna put into a magnet, and when I do that, I'll post it on Instagram. I did that with the ones I already made into magnets, which was by Chonko, and oh yeah. And so he also sent me, this is interesting, he sent me a cozy, and I don't know how to spell that. Is it C-O-Z-E-E or C-O-Z-E-Y? I think they're called, oh wait, it's upside down. So he sent me this cozy, which is pretty cool. Big Nasty Comics, look at that. Anyways, despite, I like all this swag. It just makes me want to get some stickers and a t-shirt to send to 5 people I know. But anyways, besides all the swag, it was really nice to be on his show. I really like that. And I watched one movie this week. I just haven't been watching any movies. And that was, hold on, I have a picture of it. Sorry to make you wait. Thunderbolts, which is on Disney. And I really enjoyed it. It was such a fun and refreshing movie for Marvel, since we've had some that haven't been so good. So I really enjoyed this. But it does have a very dark side to it, and there are a lot of dark themes around dealing with trauma and suicide and all of this kind of stuff. So, you don't need to be warned about it, but it just seemed to have this dark side, and it makes for good conversation. I was having a conversation about it with Sleepy, and it really, yeah, it was a nice conversation. So I think there's a little bit, even though it's a Marvel action movie, there is a little bit of depth to it that you can talk about. But in the end, it is an action movie. I've been watching some excuse me, TV shows, and I'm in the middle of them, right, because they're on right now. So I'm still watching Alien Earth, and I'm still loving it. I love what they're doing with the show. I like how they're adding things and making it their own, but you still got that, the core of the alien, the xenomorphs, but you've got a couple of different aliens. You also have a new kind of human creation in the mix, and sometimes you can see both of my dogs around the light. I've got the wonkiest setup with the light right now, just because If I do it too much like this, it's drowning me out. But anyways, like I said, I'm not used to filming up in my attic. So Alien Earth. Then I've been, don't scratch. Hey, don't scratch. And then I've been, oh God, hey, he's flipping my light around. And then I'm watching Foundation, and I'm continuing to love a Foundation. The beginning of the season started slow, but there's a family in this, a dynasty, and this show goes over time, and it's interesting to see that family in different incarnations through different time periods. It's pretty neat. Can you stop scratching the pillow and just lay down? Oh my God, everyone's watching you scratch the pillow. Okay, good, he laid. And then finally, Dexter. I don't know how to do this without spoiling. I'm going to try. Dexter hit me. Like, I watched the whole episode. I mean, I kind of knew where it was going. The end of it, it's not the end of the season, but this episode, like, it was a little bit of a gut punch. And I watched the whole episode. I was fine with it. I'll say that there's a death of a major character. I mean, I'm sorry if I'm spoiling it for you, but I was fine with it. And then they played the credits, and the character has a signature, something that's signature, and they show in the credits, it's just very quick, like 10 or 15 seconds. They show a factory creating that, or you know, someone putting it together, and it kind of hit me, and I was just like, whoa. Like, why am I having an emotional reaction over, you know, a fictional character? But this character has kind of been in my life for like a decade or more. Like, it's funny how fictional characters can get under your skin, and they kind of feel real to you sometimes, which is totally silly. But as Sleepy said, it's the power of good writing, right? You can see every time I'm watching something, there's a couple of people that I text and talk with. And but anyways, that was such an emotional thing for me in a way that I really needed to talk to somebody about it. So Dexter is still so very good. What a great show. So the next thing that I want to talk about are some books that I read. So I have, I think, 4. So I'm going to start with, since I did the DAWs, I had been reading this, which is called Critical Threshold. And if you can see the subtitle, it's the second. You can't. It's not. It's blurry. It's not focusing. The second landing of the Daedalus mission. So this is, like I said a couple of times, this is a very Star Trek-like book where they're on a mission to see colonists that, you know, were sent to these various planets in the universe, and they're checking up on them, and they didn't have communication because the Earth went through some kind of like dark age where it lost communication, and then they're starting it up again, and now they're going to check on these colonists. This book was really, really interesting, but it takes place, like 3/4 of the book takes place with 3 characters walking through the woods, and the narrator is a biologist, and it's a lot of his thoughts about what's going on in the environment and on the planet. There's a mystery. This was a lot of fun. This was really, really good writing. I'm really looking forward to reading the 3rd one. But if you're more action oriented, this book might not be for you, because there's a lot where he's just in the woods with these other 2 people, and he's thinking as they're walking. But I really dug it. Then I read The City Machine by Lewis Trimble, and this was about a society on another planet where there's when they first get there, the ship can actually do something and form a city. And that's part of the colonization process. But in that city, over time, they made different hierarchies. And so the highest hierarchy that rule they really lord it over the working class, and they treat them badly, and they don't give them enough. And so there's this rebellion. They want to find an old language so that they can start and find the machine and start a new city and rebel and take everybody from the original city to the new city. And this was a lot of fun as well. I'm not going to say this is a 5-star book, but it was definitely a fun read. And like I said, these books are so short that they're worth your time. And I'm enjoying learning and reading more in this DAWs series. Having said that, the reason I'm filming this up in my attic is because I was on Whatnot, and I haven't been on Whatnot in so long, but I went on 2 sellers, and one of them, they sell DAWs, and I just bought a whole bunch of books. And then at the end of that one, I was stupid, and I went right into another, and they were selling vintage paperbacks at $2 start, so I bought a bunch. But on eBay, I just won a lot of books, and there are some DAWs, and so I'm waiting for that to arrive, and I think I paid about $3 a book in that one. Okay, another book that I read was the 4th in the Nancy Drew series, The Mystery at Lilac Inn, and fun. They're just fun. So Nancy Drew is at this Lilac Inn. They're getting ready to open, and there's some hauntings going on, and things come up missing, and then there's someone impersonating Nancy Drew going around, and they steal stuff from Nancy Drew and forge her a signature. And these books have images inside, like art. It continues to be fun. There's one where there's like a secret passage, and I want to find that one. Oh, this is neat. The image goes along the bottom, and someone blew up with a timed bomb where Nancy was sleeping, but because she heard the ticking, she got out in time. Just fun stuff. Okay, I can't find that one picture, but I'm gonna move on. Here's a part where Nancy Drew is tied up, and these rapscallions, a boat is sinking, and they just leave her tied up to die, and they book it. It's pretty funny. Okay, and the final book that I want to talk about it's the second book on the Booker Prize long list. There's 15 of them, and so this is my second one, and that was called Misinterpretation by Lydia Shoga. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Lydia Shoga. And this is about an Albanian woman, I believe in the United States, and she's an interpreter. And she gives so much that it's to the detriment of the detriment of the relationships in her life. Like the people that she starts to interpret for are from her country, and she tries to help them more than in a professional capacity. Like if they need a place to stay or dinner, she'll invite them to her home, and everything is told from her point of view, which I love. I like first-person narratives, and she justifies everything, but we can see how it's going to be a problem. And as the book goes on, we can start to see that she's becoming a little bit unhinged, and she is an unreliable narrator. I found this book really, really fascinating, and I loved it. I went online, and most people hate it. And it kind of shocks me. They're like, this book doesn't have much depth, the characters, and I thought the exact opposite. So take my review with a grain of salt. I think that I'm really, really enamored with first-person narratives, and I think that's why I love them so much. And so when it comes to that, I think that's why I really, really love this book. I enjoyed going on the journey with this woman and watching her world become unraveled, and seeing her neuroses, and just seeing everything from her limited point of view and the effects that it was having. I really enjoyed this. So, Misinterpretation by Lydia Shoga. But based on what everyone was saying online, I don't think that this is even going to make it into the short list, although I wish it would. I really, really enjoyed this book. I think that's it for the books. I only have two more things to talk about, really. I read a couple of comics. The first one was Rat God by Richard Corbin, and what a freaky cover that is. I mean, look at that. It's freaky, but it's phenomenal. And this is about race and in some parts religion. This guy is looking for a woman that he loves, and he traces her back to her hometown, but there's all kinds of weird cults and mysticism going on. But I mean, look at this phenomenal art. I mean, that stuff's creepy. And here's one of the old men in the town. I mean, Corbin's art is phenomenal. Like, look at this. You've got these, like, they're gnawing on a leg, and this one is getting ready to bite through a head. Like, this stuff is phenomenal. Look at this art. Just wow. I should make that my thumbnail. Look at this. This one actually was creepy. I was reading this late at night, and it starts here, and he's getting ready to, this thing is getting ready to bite this guy's head off, and he's watching, and then it's dragging him away, and then you just see the blood dripping from its teeth. And I just thought that image was just really, really creepy and well done. And keep going. Here's another where this like goo is covering over a skeleton and kind of reanimating it. Here's another phenomenal piece of art. Look at that. Okay, I think that might be it, unless I have some more. No, another comic that I read was, I finally read Usagi Yojimbo. And Sleepy's been telling me, man, these comics are great. So I started reading it, and I started with the Usagi Yojimbo Saga #1, and I was reading it. I found out that it isn't actually the first one. There's actually here I have the thing. They have a reading order. I looked it up because I was confused. There's an actual special edition that I believe has the Fantagraphic stuff, and then it goes into the saga, and from there it's in order of the other publishing company. And so I actually put this stuff on hold. And so the first thing that I read of Usagi Yojimbo was a crossover with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I'm going to have to say that I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. So here is the cover of it. Let's let that focus. And then here's, the art is just delightful. Here's a panel that I thought was really cool. Up on the top, you have two ninjas fighting a group of, bad ninjas or whatever. And then the bottom tells a story in itself. We focus in on those two, and then they each fight the guy next to them, and then they each defeat him and they fall. And I just thought, I loved the way this composition was put together. Really cool. And then look at that close up. And here's one of the turtles, and I love this composition where it's Leonardo, he's in a tree, and then a ninja is running away and he's following him. And I just loved the progression of that. Really fun art. Look at this cool art piece. So that ninja goes back, and then the rest of the clan is all in the rafters. Pretty cool. Wait, that was too dark. Let's try to get that to focus in. You got to appreciate this art. There you go. So those are the two comics that I read. And then the final thing that I want to talk about, I think, is some music. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to actually do a video on these, which I should, because I do like sharing clips of the music. But first, I was listening to Boz Scaggs, and his album from 1969 was in my guidebook, so I've been listening to it. And that's the cover of it. But there's a song on it called I'll Be Long Gone, and he's got a brand new album coming out, and he redoes that song, I'm pretty sure. It's the same song. And the new style is just so different, and it's really, really nice, but it's loungy, and I love that. And so I'm really looking forward to listening to the entire new album when it comes out. Doug Anderson on the Auditory Vinyl, he recommended, well, he does a series where he listens to random albums that he hasn't listened to in a while, and he describes them. He's not necessarily recommending them, but he's just talking about the experience. And two of them that he mentioned intrigued me. The first one was this American Flyer, because I thought, what a beautiful album cover. Oh wait, I have one more thing, because I bought some albums. And I went ahead and listened to that, and I'm really enjoying it, actually. It's a lot of fun. But very, very 70s. And then another one was Motorcycle Mama, Sail Cat. And I'm not sure who the artist is, but I would love to have both of these albums just for that art. And this one was also very 70s and a lot of fun. And then Vinyl Richie, he recommended this album by Bob Trimble. I had to keep the name because it's not on the cover. And this album is really, really interesting. Like the voice, everything about it is just, it's kind of transportative. It's a soundscape, the way that he uses his voice. And it took me a little while to get used to it, but I'm really, really digging it. This is an interesting album by Bob Trimble with 2 B's. Sorry. And then I think the last one was Christian. Now, Christian, I didn't know. I forget his last name. But he has a new channel, Front to Back Vinyl. And when he was talking, he was recommending a Juliana Hatfield, which was a covers album. And I'm like, oh, I want to listen to that. However, the covers album, I saw that there was another one where Juliana Hatfield sings ELO. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to listen to that. And I have to tell you that I really enjoyed her versions of the songs. They were really nice. And so for me, this is a keeper. And I really like how she did all phases of their career, not just the early stuff. And finally, I'm going to go ahead. I have to reach over there. I'm going to go ahead and show you some albums that I bought today. So this is like hot off the press. I spent $35. Let me go ahead and talk to you. Show you first. I bought this 45 Rocco which has a song Marina. I don't know if you're familiar with that song, but what I didn't realize when I bought it was that there's a strip of Braille on it. I don't really mind, but I didn't notice it when I bought it. It's not a big deal, but it's kind of interesting. There's the label. Yeah, my throat's hurting a little bit. Sorry, I should have had my something to drink while I was doing this. Won't I ever learn? I know that I need that. And then I bought 3 albums, so I'm going to go ahead and show those off. I bought this Temptations album for $5. Let me take it out. But I'm going to go ahead and take out the plastic. I hate that anyway. So we've got this just fantasy art, which I thought was really cool, for $5. I don't even know what songs are on it. I didn't look. I didn't care. So none of them jump out to me. I don't know if any of those were hits. You can go ahead and look at that. And I didn't even look at the interior. Oh yeah, it's got that. That's the album. Yeah, there's the, oh, look at that. That's cool. Okay, the next album that I bought was Donald Byrd and Gigi Grice, early bird. Look at that. I just thought that was really funny, but I still dug it. I think I paid $10 for this. It is a gatefold album, but I don't think there's anything on the inside. Yeah, just that. That's kind of a wasted gatefold space. Like, they could have fit all of that on the back. Anyways, we got this. And then... okay, come on, go over there. The last one I bought was this Ben Webster. I think I have one or two more in this series, and I really like the art on these, and this one was $12. I think it's a double album. I'm not sure about that, but it does have a lot of writing on the gatefold, and then we've got that same art, but expanded. I'm not sure if these are different album covers or just the same art. I'm just not sure, but it's a pretty cool album nonetheless. Is it a double album? Yeah, it is. So let's see if you can... Oh, it's Verve. And then what do we have? It's just white sleeves. So, I don't know, kind of a... I don't know why. For me, this doesn't seem like a really big episode. Just kind of random stuff that I did and went over, and I really wanted to just film this. I was supposed to go to a church mass last week. I didn't go because I was sick, so I postponed it, and this isn't even 30 minutes, so sorry. But that was my week. That's what I did, and my beard is, maybe I got to trim that. But I don't know. I ran out of things to say. Okay. I wanted to thank everybody for the support, as always, and please, your comments are always appreciated.